Finish him off! Finish him off!
He's calling for it!
This is it! This is it! Your career's on the line here! Do it! Do it! This place will erupt when he picks him up!
He's got him up! Oh, hell yeah! 1, 2, 3!
Thank you! Thank you! We've got a new heavyweight champion!
Climb the ladder, kid! Make yourself famous! I just had an out-of-body experience! What did we just see? What did we just see?
He got him in a power slam! He got him in a power slam! He got it! Simmons got it! Simmons has won the match! Simmons is a champion!
I've always maintained that reality is for people who can't face drugs.
Shit is about to get real.
You get shit on me. Knee deep. Shit.
Look at the stare of the champion against the challenger.
What?
And now, Straight Talk Society presents Wrestling with Reality.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's going to be the biggest battleground in the history of our sport. The biggest match in pro wrestling history.
The two biggest superstars in our sport in the biggest event the sport has ever seen. The biggest match in the history of our sport.
Trying to run a little scalded dog here. Enough is enough. That's enough. No! Oh, God, that's enough! Stop it! Bam! Listen, it's tougher than a $2 steak. Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Little slam, toe slam. Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Lucifer's lips are the biggest eyes in the WWE. Somebody stop this! Somebody stop the damn man! Enough's enough!
What?
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Simmons got it real! Woo!
WWE Dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time. Let's rock.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
So to escape from reality?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I am reality.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Oh, it's live, Hal.
Let the slaughter begin!
It is now time for
Wrestling with
Reality.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Junior, look at this.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Number one, to be the man, baby. You have to beat the man. Heavyweight champion of the world. The time is now. Reality has become the present, and the final lesson of the pain game has begun. Have you ever heard a joke like that in your life? You are gonna wrestle my ass for the world title. You will have to kill me to keep me from killing you. Woo!
The 90s have been referred to as the reckoning with truth. In the 80s, everything was clouded. Nobody ever told the truth. In the 90s, the way to go is flat out. Tell no lies. That's the way we're gonna do it. When you hear something from our lips, truth it may be, and as much as it may hurt, you can count on it being exactly the way that it is.
We want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga!
Oh, what is up? Straight Talk Society. This is your host, Trevor, and I am back with another episode of Wrestling with Reality. And in the words of the great Booker T, to all you wrestling shows out there, we are coming for you. And I mean that with every fiber of my being, because I do want to say this. I listened to a couple of wrestling shows today that I actually like, that I actually maybe 2 or 3 of the ones that I actually subscribe to on YouTube, and the absolute hate that comes behind them is gross. There's a reason I don't watch AEW. I don't watch AEW because I want to enjoy wrestling. I don't like to come on and be negative about wrestling. So I know if I watch AEW, I am going to be critical of it. So I would rather not watch it. And that's why I don't watch it, because I like to enjoy wrestling. But when I hear wrestling shows see something great happening in front of them, seeing artistry, and they still try to go over to the other company and prop them up. Jerry Lawler always said this: blowing somebody else's light out won't make yours shine any brighter. And that's how I feel about this thing. But enough said. I am joined by my co-host on the panel. Oh, Venkat fell off. Oh, I thought he was on. I started talking about haters, so he fell off. Yeah, one for you and one for the princess. But I do see the political prophet amongst men, MD, in the bill. Okay, there go Venkat. The political prophet amongst men, MD, in the building. What's up, MD?
Peace. What's going on? What's happening?
Hey, MD, drop the link to your channel, man, so you could let's see, you gonna start back streaming on the thought box. I keep talking about thought box. I see Mike in the thing, so it just got me saying thought on the thought box. Drop the link to your channel, man. We gotta get people over there, because you be yeah, even in your little 30-minute today, I was like, damn, if you would have let us know about it, I probably would have jumped on while I was at work and argued with you for a little bit. That's why your channel is good for that when you do those thought boxes, because it's literally just in the middle of the day. You could just go on and talk your shit. So, but we are not alone. We are joined by producer extraordinaire Venkat in the building. What's up, Venkat?
It's not Venkat anymore.
Uh-oh.
It's the wrestling prophet amongst men.
Oh. The wrestling prophet. Shout out to Bones in the building. Shout out to Ricardo in the building. Y'all make sure and hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And if you haven't, check out TFP from last night. Man, TFP been doing really good lately. Since they've been back in January, they've been doing really, really good. I appreciate that. The MAGA Maniac's been coming over into the chat. I love it. Hell, we even had Shiesty Bum come over in the chat. Shiesty Bum, we thought was just a troll of Man Talk Monday, but the fact that she came over into the TFP chat and was engaging in the conversation, that lets me know that she just doesn't like Mike. So shout out to Thinking Black in the building. Yeah, man. So we gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get into it tonight. We are gonna be talking about the Royal Rumble. But before we get into it, we always got to do a story that has nothing to do with wrestling. And this one, major news, hit the NBA. So hopefully we could get through this real quick. And some other developments are in the work, because they're talking about possibility of Kevin Durant to the Heat. So we'll see how that goes. So
Kevin Durant is a prostitute, and I like Kevin Durant, but my God.
What's being touted as the worst trade ever? Just period. I'm talking about in all the sports. I thought the worst trade ever was Mike Ditka trading his entire draft for Ricky Williams, which Ricky Williams was on Dan Le Batard's show yesterday and said that he after that he wanted to leave the team because he knew the terrible decision makers, that you would give up your entire draft for one player, and he was a damn player. So nevertheless, let's get into it. Luka Doncic. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm no basketball savant, because I'm not. That's why this is Venkat's segment. MD, you want to see? I'm talking about Mike. See, Mike, if you come up here, man, you and Venkat can't be turning this into no 2-hour thing. That's what y'all have a basketball show for. So Venkat, drop the link.
All right.
Because we ain't gonna turn this into a 2-hour show because we still got stuff we got to get into. Luka Doncic, I know I said his name wrong. 25-year-old superstar. Most people are saying he's the best player in the NBA next to Joker, which is funny to me. But I'll let you guys tell me about it. Was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for Mr. Unibrow himself, Anthony Davis, who is 31, who has also won a title with LeBron James for the Lakers.
With an asterisk.
Oh gosh, here we go.
With an asterisk, Trevor.
Stay on topic, Van Cat. Stay on topic.
But it was an asterisk, though.
Hey, I saw the games being played, so
yeah.
The Super Bowl, the Super Bowl that year wasn't the asterisk
because the Super Bowl happened before COVID hit.
Oh yeah. Super Bowl was in February.
Yep.
Well, the following year though. Yeah, I guess.
So by that time, the vaccines was out.
Oh, don't mention the V word. Excuse me. So Mike is on the chat. So here we are. We're about to pivot to buckets and beyond since they don't strike it up themselves. But I'm curious to hear what you guys got to think about this. The only thing I'll say on this, because I don't know. I don't watch enough basketball to do this. I want to know first, is Luka Doncic really that good? And secondly, how do you feel that he literally was traded out of the Supermax? So now he can't get the Supermax deal because they traded him. So he lost what amounts to about $100 million. So y'all got it.
Who you want to go first? Is this your show?
No, go ahead, Mike. What's going on, Mike?
So low. Is it just me? And can y'all hear them in the chat?
Yeah, I can hear.
Everybody can hear me. It's just you set your computer up to not hear me. It's okay. I understand. Check this out, people. Number one, Luka Doncic is a top 3 player in the league. That's just what it is. At worst, he's 4th, and that's just because SGA's been going off lately. But he is top 3, in my opinion, and in any basketball watcher's opinion. That's why he was top 3 in the MVP last year. That's just what it is. That's what it's going to be. He's the only other. There's only one other player whose playoff stats rise up such a high percentage than they do from the regular season when you have an MVP type regular season. You know who that player is, Trevor?
Who, LeBron?
No, sir. The other guy.
Who, Jordan?
Yes, sir. The only two people whose statistics move up an insane percentage from the regular season to the playoffs. The only ones. I'm not just a regular 4-point bump. He goes from like 28 to 35. It's insane. But that's neither here nor there. I want to focus on the trade. My issue is with people, not the trade. We all sit around and we talk about what should be, what can be, what we wish people would do. And the second somebody does something a little unorthodox, we rage on them. It's like when people say, I want people to tell the truth. I want my athletes to come on TV and tell the truth. And when they do, they go, oh, Kyrie's crazy. It's like, no, this is what y'all asked for. Y'all asked for a man, for a GM to see, okay, this player might not work. This might be something that's going to be bad in the future. Let me make a move early. That's what we used to love about Belichick. I'm going to make a move early before late. And that's what this guy did. Now, could it hit him in the future? Of course. But I respect the reason he did it. And I know Van Cat's going to hate this, it opened up an alley to attack players in the future. No one ever thought, I will just screw you out of a Supermax if you don't do what I want. Because I guarantee you, if they did that to the Beard would still be in, he would still be in Houston to this day. He wouldn't have fought his way out of Houston. He wouldn't have got out. They would have sat his beardy butt down and said, we'll take the money away from you. He'd be like, okay, because the only thing he cares about is money. It was amazing. But personally, I believe this is not a horrible trade. I think the Mavs look fantastic. The Mavs have they traded a top 3 player for a top 10 player.
But
why are people acting like it's the worst thing in the world? Don't get me wrong.
Because when AD's legs crack, then everybody gonna be looking ashy.
When his legs crack,
Yeah, you know how
a backup center. They have a
what?
backup center who can play the 4.
But when you just gave away a generational talent, you don't have the luxury of being like, well, we have a backup person that's gonna come in his place. He is the place, so
Sir,
you want your guy there.
You're acting as if AD isn't a generational talent. AD was Luka
No,
before.
he's very good. He's very good too.
No,
but
sir, not very good. He is top 10 in the league. Don't
no,
minimize him with your word.
he's not top 10. He's very good.
He
He's
is
very
top
good.
10, sir.
No, he's not. He's not.
Name 10 better. I love to hear it. I'll give you the 3. Joker. I'll give you Joker. I'll give you Luka. And who you want for your third?
He's not better than Giannis.
Okay, Giannis, Joker, and Luka. Give me the other 7.
He's not better than that guy from OKC.
Okay, that's SGA.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I don't think he's better than Donovan Mitchell.
Man, go sit in the corner somewhere.
Look what Donovan Mitchell doing with the Cavs, man.
This is Donovan Mitchell's first year doing something.
No, it's not. 10. When he was with the Jazz, they were doing this.
Sir,
Donovan Mitchell is for real.
He wasn't on his own.
Hey, Donovan Mitchell scored 71 points in a game, man. Donovan Mitchell is legit.
Hey,
so put some respect on his name.
What's the Chinese boy name? The Chinese boy had a whole week and a half running off Lin. He had Lin sanity for a while. That means something?
Yeah, he never did 71 points in a game, though.
He was scoring like 30 a game for like a week and a half.
Yeah, he also didn't have the best record in the league and all that other stuff, too. So,
sir, like this is his first season doing anything, sir. You don't get to be top 10.
The Jazz, when he was with the Jazz, they were in the top 2 or 3 teams every year.
Right, because they made that Jazz playoff run, right?
Hey, I'm not talking about that right now.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Jamon Williams. Hey, real quick, what do y'all think about the GM basically screwing him out of Supermax?
Yeah, that's the problematic part right there. So
I knew you were going to be mad at that.
I am mad at that because they mess with the guy money. And then Trevor in the group chat was saying, "Is this about money?" And at the time, I was saying, "Nah, it's not about money." But now it is definitely about money. And what a slimy way to do that. You know what I mean? Like, damn.
I disagree, sir. I disagree. Okay. I'm sorry.
Mike, $100 million now. Come on, man.
Hey, check this out. And this is for both of y'all. We give LeBron James props every single year that this man spends $1 million on his body. We love Mamba because Mamba did nothing and would sacrifice everything to get himself to be the best he could be. When I heard the wife Mamba, Lady Mamba, came on television and they asked her, how do you feel about him putting all his time and energy and money into being in the best shape that he could? She said, if I'm sacrificing all this, I expect championships. I expect him to do that because that's what I expect from my man. My heart fluttered. I'll say, who the hell is this woman? That's what I expect from superstars. You and I just sat here and agreed this man is a top 3 player, and he has never started a season in shape. Never. The man walk around flubby. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a baller. He balls out crazy. But imagine what he could do if he had Mamba mentality.
That sounds like Charles Barkley.
Excuse me?
That sounds like Charles Barkley you're describing.
We can talk about Barkley too.
No, but it's very similar. Charles Barkley is very good, but he didn't get to that upper level because of the lack of dedication for the in fit shapeness and whatnot.
Now you're telling me you would have given Charles Barkley $300 million?
Well, Charles Barkley in his day was he was all that.
Yes, he was. Would you have given him $300 million?
$300 million is a lot of money, sir.
Exactly. I wouldn't have given Charles Barkley $300 million, and I ain't giving Luka Doncic. Y'all acting like $300 million is just a number. That's 70-something million a year. Do you know how much the salary cap is? $70 million is a chunk, sir. And you don't get to build a team around a chunk missing unless that chunk is Mamba mentality, unless that chunk is 100% dedicated, unless that chunk doesn't need people running up to him on television, snatching beers out of his hand because he's an idiot. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a child. Well, he's not a child. I don't like to say that. He's a young man. He's 25. He's got all the potential in the world. But you know who they said that about? They said that about James Harden. They said that about what's his name? The dude who's on the Mavs right now, the shooter. They said that about him, but he won nothing without Steph. They said there's millions of lottery picks that don't become anything. There's a bunch of millions of there's hundreds of lottery picks that don't become nothing. There's a bunch of guys who are labeled superstars who never win a title. I lived through Patrick Ewing's whole career and I never got a title. But you know what I never said? That Pat wasn't giving his all. I never said that. I was never cheated by Patrick Ewing. I was never cheated by my superstars. I wasn't cheated by what's the name? The dude I love. Dang, my brain is fried. I wasn't ready to be on TV today. My bad. On the podcast today. But there are superstars that are superstars because of their skill, and then there are superstars that are superstars because of their will. And if you are going to be a top shelf player, you must have both. And you, sir, do not get to walk around saying, oh, I'm the best because my skill is so fire, but not show the dedication. I will not give you $300 million. And matter of fact, go sit in the corner while I take your money from you. And the next time I get somebody that's worth it, they'll know better.
But Mike,
well, hold on, Pat, real quick, because the Supermax deal is the team that drafted you, correct?
It's a
yeah. You can only get it from the team that drafted.
From the team that drafted.
Yeah,
right.
This guy's whole entire introduction to this country has been with that team. From everything I hear, nobody has any issue with him on the team. This was just a deal that their GM made, and I'm perplexed. I want to use one of Mike's words, flummoxed, to hear Mike basically take $100 million out of somebody that he admitted is top 3. Sir, hold on. I'm looking at Joker. Joker's twice this guy's size.
Yep.
But Joker's in shape. Every year, when Joker leaves America and goes back to whatever Ania, he's on the farm.
Slovenia.
When Joker's and he's baling hay. He's with his brothers fighting. You know who Joker is? And Bone's gonna like this. Joker's like them boys.
Serbia. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Serbia.
he's like them. He's them Serbian boys. Them the ones in MMA. He like them. You ain't gotta tell them Serbian boys to stay in shape. You ain't gotta ask them nothing. Them boys fighting bears on an off day. You ain't gotta tell them nothing. Okay? The difference with Luka is Luka's been a pro since he was a teenager. So Luka's been balling on grown-ups since he was a teen. Came to America and Mark Cuban rolled out every red carpet for him. Oh, do whatever you want. What you want, hoes in the back of the plane? No problem. We're going to call this the host section. Hoes, come to the back. Anything he wanted, he had. What he didn't have was accountability. And you and I, Trevor, are on a show where we talk about what happens to people when they do not have accountability. And that's what was going to happen to him. And check this out. I'm not giving $300 million to a thought. I'm not giving $300 million to a fool who will not be in shape. Just like you remember why Shaq got traded? Because he said, they don't pay me to get in shape on the clock. Exactly.
Shaq is an idiot for that.
That's why Fat Shaq got his fat ass moved.
Yep.
Mike,
point blank.
Mike, you know when he goes to LA and he works out with LeBron, this guy gonna turn into a Greek god. You know that, right?
See, here's the problem. 2 things. One, if he goes there and it happens, it would have never happened for Dallas.
Yeah.
So I don't care. It would have never happened. That's like telling me I get with a girl. That's like telling me I get with a girl and she don't want to. Oh, I got one too. But you don't like when I say personal stuff. Bump it. There's a chick I used to mess with, and for me, she did everything. When I say everything, y'all know how I get down. She did everything. She left me and went back to her baby dad, and he couldn't get her to do anything. And he kept coming to me, even though we literally fought each other. And he kept asking me, "How did you get her to do that, sir? How did you get her to do that?" Like the dude literally sat through my window asking me, "Please just tell me. I know you don't like me, but please, how'd you get her to do that?" And I kept looking at him and I said, "Yo, I'm that nigga. You're not." That's exactly what it don't matter what he would have done in Dallas, he would have never been what he could be under LeBron. Now, number 2, he needs to accept He needs to accept that Bron is that guy. Do you think he will? I know everybody's saying, oh, he's with LeBron. It's going to rub off. Hey, I've been with Trevor on podcast for over a year now. Guess how good I am on Canva? Not. I talk to Van Cat all the time. Guess how good I am on InShot? Not. I talk to MD when me and MD in the same chat groups. Guess how great I am at politics? Not. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about being around greatness. It's about seeing greatness and accepting that to be great, you got to jump into greatness with them. I got other stuff to do. I got school. I got a girlfriend now. I got stuff I got to do. I got a daughter.
Whoa, what? I will say that for Monday. Don't just try to sneak that in. Hey, Van Cat, put a bow on this because I'm looking. We almost on 30 minutes, and we got to move on to the next story.
Sorry, Van Cat.
No problem. So it's funny because just a year ago the Mavs went to the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
and he was the Western Conference MVP. But this season, I was looking at their record like a week and a half ago, and I'm like, damn, the Mavericks barely making the playoffs.
You see what happens when you start coming on my side and you start looking at the logical points?
Isn't Kyrie Irving on this team?
Yeah, Kyrie is on there, but they struggling like hell, man.
Because Luka hurt. Hurt. And even when he was there, they wasn't balling because it's a difference between when you catch lightning in a bottle. That's just what it is. Look at Ja Morant. Ja Morant used to be the hottest thing in the league. Remember that?
Yep.
Is he?
Yep.
Nope. You remember when Ant was the hottest thing in the world? Is he? Nope.
Right. Yeah, he totally fell off. Anthony Edwards totally fell off. My goodness.
You guys are proving my point. You could be top 3 today, and in 2 years you could be top 10. Look at Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was a top 3 player a couple years ago.
Yeah.
When they won the bubble that y'all like to hate, the bubble championship that I respect and y'all don't.
There's an asterisk on that one.
Call it what you want. It's a championship. That ring still shines. When he won that, he was a top 3 player in the league. They were like, he's taking the torch from LeBron. It wasn't that long ago. Now he's top 10. And when I say top 10, please believe, I mean he's 10th.
Wow.
He ain't 9th. He's 10th.
Wow.
That's how fast you move in this league. And if you think SGA ain't going to become top 2 soon, if you think Joker can't fall off, well, he probably won't because he's Serbian. They crazy. You know what I'm saying? If you think Brunson, look how hard Brunson was in the playoffs. Brunson ain't top 5.
Right.
What you look like is great, but what you do with it is different. Nobody looks at Brunson and says Brunson ain't in shape or Brunson ain't going to bring it. Luka brings it on the court. Off the court is what it is. All right, I'm going to shut up. Go ahead, Trevor. Handle your wrestling. My bad.
It's very clear we need this show, man. We need this NBA show, man. We need
MD, you got anything you want to add on this before we
No. hey, I guess make the NBA white again. If it is
MD, I wanted to go there, man, but I can't because it's just gonna keep going, man. But I'm flummoxed. How you telling me the 2 of the top 3 guys in the NBA are white boys from Serbia?
Yeah,
now I don't watch the
boys,
NBA,
sir.
so I don't know, but I'm just saying.
They're not white boys, sir. You got to get that out your mind. When we say white boys, we talking about American whites. When we talk about Serbia, Ukraine, them places that's cold 9 months out the year, those ain't white boys. Those are East Europeans or Asian. Those are different types of whites.
They Slavic.
Yeah,
I don't get it though.
Those are white people that kill and eat. They kill and eat on the side whenever there's famine. Huh?
No, my dog is eating my paper. Hold on.
The paper looks delicious.
Now, I will say this: Luka's supposed to be in a Hawks jersey. That's just what it is.
Uh-oh.
Hey, you know what?
So,
That'd be great.
I
but
just
don't
leave
nobody
it at that.
won't trade.
They got gobsmacked. We for y'all listening, we do have a basketball show. It's just I get it.
Not a basketball show, a wrestling show.
Well, no, I'm talking about we do actually
on
this channel, but we can't commit to it just because everybody's busy and I know what it is, boy, because these things are getting harder and harder for me to do because I've been getting home later and later. So we'll get the basketball stuff in. Hopefully they could commit to doing the playoffs at least. But the NBA trade deadline is up in about 18 hours. So we'll see if old man Pat Riley could pull off something to get Kevin Durant here. Venkat calls him a whore. Did you say he was a whore?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, prostituting himself all of these damn teams that he's been. It just doesn't look. It's not a good look, man. It's not a good look at all.
That is so weird with this.
Pat Riley is who we should have been talking about, because if you want to talk about make it white again, he's the one. He's the horrible human being. You talking about missing the max. This man's out here trying to punk players, and you better do everything that I'm saying about this new GM is what Pat Riley does when he wakes up and brushes his teeth. That's what we should be talking about.
Well, we'll see. So I did hear something earlier on Levitar's show, and they didn't report it as fact. And it's just funny that they said that this trade may be tied into the fact that they couldn't get gambling legalized in Texas, because the new owners were pushing for gambling, and that was going to be tied to the success of the Mavs. And when they saw that it wasn't happening, and I'm not making this up, I heard this morning, and they said when they saw that it wasn't going to happen, they basically doing like a fire sale now.
Okay, well, that makes more sense if that's the situation.
But I'm not reporting that. That's what I heard them say today on, and Levitar is one of the very, very few sports shows that I listen to. And they were talking about it this morning. And when I heard it, my ears perked up. I'm like, oh my God, that's weird. But nevertheless, man, buckets and beyond, man. Buckets, blocks, and beyond. That's what it's called. Because I don't even know. Because
I'm like, that's the third name you said since we've been on the air.
But blocks, buckets, and beyond. So man, y'all make sure and tune into that when it does appear, hopefully for the playoffs. And we'll definitely be talking about that thing that Mike just slipped in about him having a girlfriend this Monday on Man Talk Monday, because he mentioned it on the air, not me. So now I feel like I have to talk about it. So so let's move on. Let's move on to the next story. Old Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon is back in the news. So Venkat's favorite person. And by the way, if anybody listened to TFP last night, again, which if you're not, shame on you. Fantastic show, even though they don't like me.
Why do you say stuff
like
insane?
That? Venkat tried to somehow put this creep Vince McMahon and Martin Luther King in the same boat last night.
I'm just saying.
That's what he tried to do.
Come on now.
That's a
misrepresentation.
I gotta go back and watch the episode and see if I got.
That's a misrepresentation. I was saying, what if he has a Vince McMahon type scenario?
Vince McMahon and MLK shouldn't even be mentioned in the same the same breath. This a slime ball here, like this. So we see this young lady on the side, Janelle Grant. So a new amendment to her previous lawsuit. Names some new names are in there. So Brock Lesnar, Michael Hayes are named in Janelle Grant's expanded lawsuit against Vince McMahon in the WWE. So Janelle Grant, Vince McMahon's ex-girlfriend and former WWE employee, has filed an amended lawsuit against McMahon, John Laurinaitis, in the WWE, expanding her previous allegations of sexual abuse, trafficking, and a toxic workplace. The update challenges the validity of a 2022 NDA, arguing McMahon failed to fully pay Grant and pressure her into signing. It also addresses the SEC charges related to McMahon's hush money scandal. So this is the bombshell here. So a key update names several individuals. McMahon allegedly shared explicit content about Grant with or attempted to involve in sexual encounters. Brock Lesnar is now specifically mentioned. So last time, it was the worst kept secret. Everybody knew who they were talking about, but they never named him. So now they're naming Brock Lesnar. McMahon tried to involve Grant in sexual encounters with Brock. Okay, so claims that McMahon offered Grant to him sexually during contract negotiations. No encounters occurred despite explicit electronic messages, with one meeting canceled due to Lesnar being too intoxicated and another due to COVID and travel issues. WWE Hall of Famer Michael Hayes is also named, accused of receiving customized pornographic content from Grant at McMahon's instructions. Screenshots reportedly show explicit messages sent to McMahon referencing Hayes and others. So now here's the bombshell. The suit also lists WWE executives such as Nick Khan, Brad Bloom, Stephanie McMahon, and Triple H. So this is why I made the comment that I made when we started the show. So people read that when they heard Triple H's name, they were like, see, I knew it. All they had to do was read further. Just because he's named, she never accused him of anything. She just named him. But it's just annoying. So they are not accused of abuse, but are alleged to have been aware of McMahon's behavior. So come on, people saw them together. People knew that they were together. The suit claims a custom office was built connecting Grant's workspace to Laurinaitis, sharing a wall with Triple H's office, suggesting he may have knowledge of the situation. Grant further alleges McMahon assaulted her again on January 28, 2022, after she signed the NDA. She also contends that WWE's denial of knowledge and the NDA prevents them from enforcing its arbitration clause. McMahon has denied the allegations. WWE continued pushing for arbitration while McMahon's attorney dismissed the amended suit as a publicity stunt. Judge Sarah F. Russell will decide whether the new claims proceed with arbitration again, become a focal point. So shout out to Narubin in the building. Now we're talking about the Royal Rumble next, Narubin. Just give me like 5 minutes. So new names added. MD, you've been quiet for a while. Well, what you think about the new names being actually named now, especially with them naming Brock Lesnar, which I think them naming Brock Lesnar, and they did it right before the Rumble, just in my opinion, changed plans for what may have happened. Because y'all know I've been holding out hope for a Brock Lesnar return, but I doubt it'll ever happen now after this.
Yeah. It shouldn't really have been a surprise based on the little information that we had prior, even though, substantially it wasn't there in the original suit. But I'm glad you brought up the stuff with Nick Khan and Stephanie and Triple H. And this goes back to the original show that we did, breaking the suit down last year. And Vancat specifically said that he had an issue with WWE as an entity being part of it. And I, we got into a little argument about that. Now there's little to no doubt that even if, you could say that they didn't play a part in it, you could say they were complicit. And as being heads of WWE, there's no way that you can argue the entity itself being in the suit now. And again, originally, that really didn't make much of a difference, because if something happens on the basis of I guess you would say, workplace abuse or whatever the situation may be, whether you like it or not, that company is viable. So, from Vancat's standpoint, he didn't agree with it. Now he don't really got a choice but to agree with it.
I didn't agree with it either. I thought Vancat agreed with you.
No, Vancat was saying he didn't agree with WWE, the entity, WWE being a part of the lawsuit. I remember when we had that conversation.
Okay.
So, now ain't no doubt.
I thought I was the only bad guy in that one, saying WWE shouldn't be held. TKO going to clean house again. I'm not sure about that, Narubin. I think just because I ain't telling Ricardo to come back home. Come back to Canada, baby. Venkat, what do you think about this new amendment?
Well, first of all, I need to. My name isn't Venkat. It's Ver. And you know the amendment. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see more, but you know how I feel about the whole thing. Anything against Vince McMahon, I think he's a piece of trash. I think he's wrong. So I don't have much to add to it.
Let me
real quick,
Oh, go
Trev,
ahead.
because the whole thing with Brock and Michael P.S. Hayes. So according to the document, it was saying that essentially Vince was, for lack of a better term, hoeing her out.
Yes.
Specifically to, so it'll be interesting to see how that was working out as far as was it just from the corporate office itself, or was Vince doing that while he was on the road? Because I mean, but like I said, potentially that's criminal charge. That's trafficking at the end of the day. Yeah,
that would become trafficking. So especially if she was sending him allegedly to where Lesnar was. That's across state line trafficking. So, but real before Mike go, I wanted to Ricardo crazy. Ricardo says accepting money makes her a willing participant. And Ricardo, you know me, Ricardo. You know I take that stance, but I think sometimes is a give and take there. She accepted the money, but I don't think she accepted the money for everything to happen. She accepted the money for it to strictly be with Vince, not Vince and everybody else. That's how I see it. So
it even say it in the amendment.
Finally, you got that, Trevor. Finally.
In the amendment,
I never disputed that.
Oh, stop it, Trevor.
From what I read real quick in the amendment, it said even that Brock was trying to get her to send him something, and she told him, I can only do, basically it can only be authorized through Vince. It said that specifically in the amendment.
Allegedly, allegedly. One thing before Mike go, I did want to. Vince groomed her and gave her money, thinking, "Hey, don't get Mike started with that." In the Ruben, I don't think that's a road you want to go down. What I did want to say, because I do want to hear what Mike has to say about this, but they also today it came down that they are gonna with the Ring Boy scandal that the judge ruled that there's no statute of limitations now, so they can, those guys from the 80s, they can go on with the lawsuit. Also, Linda McMahon's confirmation is coming up soon. So how does they're gonna grill the shit out of her on this? Does she get confirmed? Like, this is gonna be crazy.
Van Cat called Bernie Sanders. Make sure he knows this information.
Well, I mean, if they're gonna confirm Pete Hegseth, then they're probably gonna confirm her.
But Venkat, with these looming allegations, and listen,
that's never mattered. That's never mattered to them.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that none of this stuff happened, because I 1,000,000% believe that it happened. And just to stick it to Trump, they are going to grill the hell out of her, and she's not going to be able to weasel her way out of it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see it. It'll be interesting to see
and
how hard they're going to go.
And right after they're done, Trump's going to go, executive order, get her in anyway.
Yeah, you go executive order. Mike, what you got on? Executive order the shit out of it.
Yeah, you go executive order everything. I don't care. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll never agree with y'all. I don't care about hoes. I don't know another way to explain. I don't know another way to say it. A thought is a thought. You don't get to tell me that you thought you were going to be a hoe for one person. Nobody's a hoe for one person. You're a hoe. That's what hoe means. Hoe means you don't have allegiances. Hoe means you for the streets. Hoe means You don't belong to one person. Hoe is the antithesis of a relationship. A relationship is when it's one person and one person. You, ma'am, in the words of a pimp named Slipback on Boondocks, that's not a lady, sir. That's a hoe.
Mike, she was young though.
Most hoes are young. Ain't no 40-year-old hoes walking around that unless they look like Bernice.
Hey, I'm just feeding you. I'm feeding you the line. I'm trying to think of all the excuses they're going to use. He held her with she didn't want to lose her job.
She was a hoe before the job. She was already. You think she got an office before she busted it wide open? No. Vince McMahon. I watched Vince McMahon take men that make him millions and make them cower begging for another contract. You think he had a little dime store thought bucket? Get an office before she busted cheeks open? Come on, man. You think he doo-dooed on her without a conversation? You think that was the first time he doo-dooed on her?
Sir, I think he did do.
Sir, no.
Since we doing
check this out. You ready? You ready, Van Cat? You ready?
Go ahead.
You're sitting down. My anus is within 3 feet of you.
Oh my goodness.
Do you not move? I'm asking you a question. It's a valid question. You are laying down. My anus is within 3 feet of you. You don't know that's there? Sir, everywhere I've been, I've known exactly how many anuses are within 3 feet of me. And if any of them became naked, I immediately move.
Yeah, but
I immediately reposition myself in a defensive posture.
Yeah, but you're a different mindset than what she going on with.
Sir, let me
She's
ask you a
been
question.
completely manipulated and exploited here, man.
Can I ask you a question? When's
Go
her
ahead.
birthday? When's her birthday?
I don't know what her birthday is.
What's her middle name?
I don't know none of that.
What high school did she go to?
I don't know.
So it amazes me that you don't know shit about this girl, but you know her mind state. It amazes me.
Well, hold on now.
It's amazing to me
Hold
how you don't know
on
a damn thing about this woman, but you know how she feels on the inside parts.
So you're making a lot of liberties about what she's thinking and how she is as well.
Sir, all my liberties line up with the other hoes that I've known in my life.
Nah, so you're categorizing a person.
No, sir. She categorized herself. She's a hoe.
That's not an individualism. That has nothing to do with individualistic beliefs and understandings. People are different.
Sir, let me ask you a question.
Van Cat, that was amazing.
That was not amazing. That was horrible. Let me ask you a question, sir.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard pimps talk?
Yeah.
Do pimps say there's certain characteristics and traits they look for when they're trying to get hoes?
Yeah.
No, don't it's a yes or no question.
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer is yes. Don't say it with the chest. The answer is yes. That's because hoes have characteristics that are shared regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of where you are in life. If you a hoe or you susceptible of being a hoe, you have certain hoe characteristics. It is what it is. And this chick got them. I don't need to know her to know that a person that lays down, sees an anus coming in her direction and doesn't move is a hoe.
Yeah, but
I don't care what age you are. I don't care what you went through in life. I don't care what you got on a social studies project.
But even with that, though, it doesn't give you an unlimited license to squat. All right, so there's limits to this, and he took it to a whole other level. My God, this
sir,
nigga.
Do you know where the limits start? Do you know where the limits start? The limits for being doodled on. Do you know where they start?
Where they start at?
They start when you get the hell up off of the ground and don't let yourself get doodled on.
Yeah, whatever.
They don't start before that. She laid there and allowed herself to get. You remember? I know it's gonna drive Trevor crazy.
Yeah, we got to move on, man. I see.
All right, I'm sorry.
Said move on to the Rumble.
If you let somebody pee on you, you wanted to get pee-peed on. If you wanted somebody to do the one, you sat there and let it happen. That's what you wanted to happen. Sorry.
This and more filthiness coming up on After Dark.
Talk to Cardi.
Let me.
You guys got to do that on Friday nights, man. What's up with the Friday nights?
Hey, talk to Cardi. I did everything I could. Can't nobody say
Oh
I
my
didn't try.
goodness, man! These jokers here. So let's get to the Royal Rumble, man, because I want to. Naruban, if you want to come up,
I'll step
link,
off. Come on up, Naruban.
If you want to come up, Naruban, the link is in the chat because I know you. I want to hear what you guys say about the Rumble. We actually already did a watch along to the show, so we're just gonna go over, just touch on a couple of quick points.
Thanks for letting me on, fellas. Y'all have a great one.
All right, Mike. Starting off with the women's Royal Rumble. So before we get to the winner, I just have my quick thoughts on the women's Rumble. I did go back and watch it. I actually went back and watched the entire show because my daughter wasn't here when it came on. So we watched it the following day when she got back. And I kind of take back what I said about the women's Rumble because I at the time I said I didn't like it. A lot of the stuff I had to watch in second running when I could listen to it and things like that. I rather enjoyed the women's Rumble. And I'd like to say for the majority of the women's Rumble, it was better than the men's Rumble. Now, I wasn't thrilled with the outcome, but once they announced Charlotte coming back on Thursday, which was weird, they should have just had her be a surprise. You kind of knew where it was going because WWE loves their blondes versus blondes. I was real negative on Trish Stratus coming back, but Trish Stratus had a good showing. I got to stop being so negative on Trish Stratus. Roxanne Perez looked great in there. If Triple H really wanted to pull a wool over everybody's eyes and do something a surprise, he should have let Roxy win. That would have been crazy, but the fans probably would have crapped on that too. Seeing Jada Parker, enough said. Jada Parker, Julia. I didn't really care for Julia being in there because logically Julia is the NXT champion already. So if she wins the Rumble, she's going to cash in to go after another champion. But whatever. I could forgive that. Mike's dream girl, Stephanie Vacour, fantastic. Oh, just fantastic showing. NXT is in great hands. I was surprised that we didn't see any Jade Cargill, knowing that Jade is back, that she's in the Performance Center training. So maybe they'll get her back on TV real soon. Nia Jax continues to just be the highlight of women's wrestling, coming in at number 29. I'm glad they didn't bring her in at 30. They brought her in at 29 to just come and just wreck bitches. I think this is the first time ever one person eliminated 6 people at one time. So she now holds the record for most eliminations ever, man or woman. So again, I wasn't happy with the winner just because Charlotte hasn't been here for a year and a half. These girls have been busting their ass. You literally bring her back and put her in the spotlight at WrestleMania. She looks terrible. I don't know what's going on. Andrade kind of spilled the beans when he said, you gotta, what his tweet was something about having your body right. Hey, I mean, you look at that lack thereof on the screen. I don't see how you expect a man to be happy about that. But Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte is great. Charlotte, and I'm pretty sure whoever she wrestles is going to be fantastic. But I'm kind of over Charlotte. It's time for the new girls to shine. So, what you guys had on the women's Rumble?
Yeah, I agree with you, Trey. Me personally, I'm not saying it was better than the men's. It had better variety.
Yes,
and that's what I noticed about it. It had much better variety in terms of the entrance, and they shout out to NXT, man. I don't be surprised within the next 5 years that NXT in the women's Rumble specifically, an NXT superstar wins the Rumble. I think there's so much talent. It's too much talent, honestly. That you can put some of these NXT females that have the tenure over there in top spots. I think it's possible. So, in all likelihood, Roxanne Perez could have won that Rumble. And I wouldn't have had no problem with it, at all. We'll get to the Charlotte stuff, But as far as like I said, the variety, I like the variety in the women's rumble way better than I did the men's. It's always good to see Jada. My pick was Naomi. And to your point, Trev, why are we not pushing this storyline forward? It's gonna happen at some point in time. Why not do it at the Rumble? Jay Cargill should have been there, and it should have been some type of friction going on between Naomi, Jade, and Bianca. Bianca right now is in a rut.
Oh, Bianca's cold as ice.
She in a rut, man. That's just what it is. Something need to happen, and it need to happen now.
And she hasn't gotten any better.
Yeah. I mean,
she's regressed.
You know, from a fan perspective, you know, she can still hold weight in terms of being a top female in the company. That'll never change, just based off her aura alone. But when you have matches like the Rumble, Elimination Chamber, anything that has to do with highlighting her around a bunch of people, it show out even more. It show out even more because, like you always reiterate, Treya, she counts the steps. She waits for stuff to happen to initiate her spot, and it just stick out like a sore thumb. And I don't know. Naomi, to me, I think was going to be the catalyst to push that storyline. That's why I picked her as winning the Rumble. They chose not to pull the trigger. It is what it is. It'll be interesting to see what'll happen going forward. But yeah, again, great variety in the Rumble itself.
Who do you think the attacker is going to be? I think it's Bianca.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You got to pull the trigger on her heel turn like sooner rather than later, because it's gonna get to a point where people just ain't gonna care. You know what I mean?
You know why I say it. Look, well, we'll get to it later, but look what they did with the Street Profits. This is the perfect time to pair her with the Profits now. Bianca Belair was the best as NXT Bianca Belair. And nothing, because again, Venkat like to think that I wear these rose-colored glasses, but when I'm telling you, when I'm at these shows and I see things, I could only go by what I see. And one thing that I noticed at the holiday tour, when Bianca's music hit, I thought the place was going to erupt. It didn't. It erupted when Rhea Ripley's music hit. I thought the damn roof was going to come off the place, which lets me know this time last year, Bianca Belair would have blew the roof off of that building, but now she's cold as ice. They had this match on NXT last week, Melanin Magic, Bianca Belair and Naomi against the Metaphor Girls, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, which Lash Legend, my God, I don't care what Venkat said. He crazy as hell.
That's a man.
Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. You got Bianca and Naomi supposed to be the ring generals in that match. And I get it for what it was. First time you had two black tag teams close out a show, yada, yada, yada. But I watched that match 3 times because I watched it first because everybody that's in there, they're Melanin Magic. When I watched it again, I wanted to make sure if it was as bad as what I thought I had just saw. Then I watched it again to make sure that I wasn't being overly critical on it. And I pointed the finger at Bianca Belair because as the ring general in that match, and you're going against a greenhorn like Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, they're a look. They aren't the best in ring, they aren't the best in ring. So they're depending on Bianca, WrestleMania main eventer, to get them through things. And I literally see them about to do something simple as a kip up. Bianca's looking at her and they're counting like, all right, 1, 2, 3, and then they do it. Or Bianca will hit the rope and it's slow motion. It's like how Venkat used to talk about Dominic Mysterio all the time, but now Dirty Dom is fluid as hell in the ring. So I guess it just takes repetition, but it's like everything she does is so robotic. She's so athletic. There's probably not a better athlete on the roster than her, but I think being in the tag team for so long has kind of weighted her down like an albatross. And I don't know I don't know what it's gonna take a heel turn to get her back to what she was, to get her back to NXT Bianca that we know she could be. I mean, forget these little kids, man. Make them cry. And my little one sitting right here looking at me, a biggest Bianca Belair fan in the world. Make them cry. Make them cry. Do something dastardly. Make them cry. Go back to how she was in NXT and get some character back. You can't be the smiley baby face. You just can't do it. It doesn't work anymore. Just stop. Stop it. Venkat, what we thought about the Women's Rumble?
Stop it. Get some help. Women's Royal Rumble, I liked it. And in a lot of cases, like you said, it was better than the men's Royal Rumble. I like the surprises and some of the moments within the Rumble itself. Thought it was very good. Don't like the outcome. I really don't believe that Charlotte Flair needed to be thrust into the main event spot, especially when you're coming back from any kind of injury like that. I just hate that cliche, especially in WWE, where, the big star that comes back, they're going to win that Rumble, they're going to win the WrestleMania and all this other nonsense. These guys got to start earning their way back. There's a thing of starting from the bottom back up and going back to the top. They need to go through some of that stuff. And there's not a lot of that in WWE wrestling, especially. There needs to be some adversity. And for her to just get jet folded back, I hope the match is good. Because if she have a bad match coming back with little to no, preparation and some matches under her belt on the way to a WrestleMania, I think that may hurt her. If she wanted to be back in a WrestleMania, maybe do that next year. This is not the year for her to do that. But other than that, I thought the Women's Rumble was good. Nia Jax knocked out a lot of people, so I'm always happy about that. And she has a record now for the most eliminations, so I'm good with that.
Yeah, Nia Jax is the A, man. Hey, that Nia Jax comeback of the year. I forgot to mention Alexa Bliss's long return, and she signed a 5-year deal. So take that, dirt sheets talking about she was never coming back. So take that. She signed a new 5-year deal. So I think, as MD said about NXT's woman, they're literally right now. NXT might as well be called WNXT, because they literally only highlight the women, which is not a problem because they got so much talent. I just watched the match last night with Kalani Jordan and some other girl. I don't even know who the hell that girl was. And the submission that Kalani Jordan put on her, I'm like, man, this almost looks like a Koji clutch that CM Punk would do. It's just everything that they do it all makes sense. No wasted movement. Fandango came back last night. He's not under the Fandango name because he's a TNA wrestler now. So the TNA WWE thing is about to come up. They're about to wrestle for the Heritage Cup. But he's called like JDC or something like that.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Because
I know they were calling him Dirty Dango in TNA.
Oh, well, on the screen it said JDC, but he's wrestling Brian Pillman's son for the Heritage Cup. So that's gonna be next week. But it's just right now, I agree with Venkat, man. This wasn't the year for Charlotte. Literally, Charlotte is somebody that deserves a losing streak. Because she's never had one. She literally deserves a losing streak. Just go on a losing streak. Go to NXT, get beat by those girls. Go to SmackDown, go to Raw, get beat by everybody, and then have your dad show up and say, "Remember your Flair," blah, 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 and get your confidence back. It's easy. You see how easy that works? And then you could build yourself up for SummerSlam or something like that, because literally, I don't want to see her take that belt from Tiffany Stratton. And that's probably the direction that they're going, depending on if Becky Lynch comes back or not. I mean, I know she's coming back, but depending when she's coming back, they may go Becky Rhea, But then they also teased Charlotte Rhea. We saw Charlotte Rhea last year. So, well, was it year before last? Yeah, year before last. So we don't need to. No, was that last year?
No, it was year before last.
That was year before last, which they had
that
probably.
Rhea won the Rumble.
Yeah, but they probably had the match of the night. So we're not saying that Charlotte isn't great, but what we're saying is Charlotte is, hey, this is almost like John Cena back in the day. In case of emergency, break glass and call John Cena. You don't need to do that anymore. You got girls on the roster.
Check this out, though, Trail. I think they're gonna try to swerve us. In that segment on Monday night, she kind of got a little bit of go away heat, little bit.
Kinda, MD, kinda.
the only reason I say that is because the way that the promo played out. She tried to drink it in and heal it up. I don't think they wanted the Tiffany and Charlotte stuff to go that route. Tiffany, to me personally, is not going to play out well as a face. That's just me. If the crowd is organically making Tiffany the face and giving Charlotte all the heat, I don't think they want to go that route. I think they're going to switch it up. I think it will be Rhea and Charlotte. I think they're going to wait. Now that they know how this thing is going to go from a fan perspective, I think they're going to wait.
MD, when Charlotte said, "Oh man, I thought y'all were going to boo me, but not like this," I'm like, what? like what the hell did you think? Like nobody, they were giving her that Hulk Hogan heat. I'm like,
yeah. And to reiterate your point, Trev, she didn't have a wedding ring on either.
So
I pointed that out online.
I think they are divorced. I think they are divorced. Yeah, I mean, but I only have kid when I'm talking about her body, but yeah, she doesn't look healthy. Just put it that way. And if my thing was right next to me, I'd hit Venkat's sound, eat a sandwich or something. She doesn't look healthy. And y'all say, "Oh God, how are you body shaming?" No, I'm not body shaming, but you're in this business. Damn, Venkat came on twice.
Yeah, he probably switching over.
Oh, so
from his phone or something.
You're in this business
from the waist up, Trev. She in phenomenal shape, bro.
Yes,
that's just what it is.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, like she kind of ripped.
Her tights couldn't fit her. They were literally,
and she had the cuts in them, like how like the girls like to show the side cheek.
Yes,
I'm like, nah, that ain't working.
Yes,
that ain't working.
look at Bailey and then look at her. Come on, man. That's just
shaped like a pea, bro.
It's weird, man. Yeah, so there you go. Take care of your body. It's the only one you have to live on. Hey, don't think that wasn't don't think that he just was saying that. He was throwing he was sending a subliminal message with that. Like seriously, bro. Like, come on, man. Look at this guy. This guy, hey, no homo, but this handsome guy in shape. What do you want with her?
I told you, man. If you ever been to the VFW on bingo night, where the Cougars be at, that's what she looked like, bro. I'm like, what the hell? She look like she's like she in them late 50s, early 60s. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
She's younger than us. I think Charlotte might be your age. Charlotte probably like
yeah. I actually think we the same age. I think she's 38, 39. I'm 39. Yeah. I think we're around the same age.
Yeah, she's young, and my wife is hard on her because she do not think she's attractive at all. At least I think I could look at her and just be like, no, ain't nothing wrong with her. But when I see her, she came back to the Rumble, I'm like, oh my God, what is that? Like that's crazy, man.
As a mother, bro. She looked like Donatella Versace.
Yes. And the Ruben saying, how can you be healthy if your body is 50% plastic surgery? That's a good picture, Venkat. That's from the last time she was in the ring. She
got a little thigh meat on her in that picture.
That's what I was used to. Now she done got completely.
And she never had like a robust bottom or nothing like that, but she was healthy looking.
She's never been bottom heavy, never. But it never looked at man. her tights was baggy on her. Like literally, like, come on, man. Somebody should have stopped her and been like, hey, you got to do a wardrobe change or something. That's not going. That's not working. So, but Charlotte did win the Women's Royal Rumble. So let's get on to the next match. We had a 2 out of 3 falls match between the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. I thought this match was great. Now, what I will say, this match should have just been a sprint. This match shouldn't have been 2 out of 3. They should have just said, hey, go out there for 12 to 15 minutes and do every spot in the world, kick ass, and just be done with it. I think the 2 out of 3 stipulation killed the crowd that I don't think was the greatest crowd anyway from the beginning, which is a shame because I thought this match was too good for it to have such lackluster crowd heat. The match did end with Motor City Machine Guns going for the Skull and Bones. All of a sudden, Street Profits come out with crutches and attack Motor City Machine Guns. Now somebody say, hey, man, that's stupid. Why you just didn't let them beat DIY and then attack them afterwards? Because DIY was the ones that attacked the Street Profits, and in their logic, they want to be the ones that take the titles from them. Simple as that. They said it on commentary. That's good enough for me. MD, what was your thoughts on the tag match?
Yeah, it was a good match. I'm happy to see teams like DIY and Motor City Machine Guns get this spot. I just don't think it belongs on the PLE. I just don't. You know what I mean? It wasn't a big enough of a grudge, big enough of an angle to be highlighted on the show. I'm sorry. I'm happy for him, but I don't think it felt like filler, and a lot of that did have, part of that was the crowd. The crowd was god awful. Now that could have been because it was such of a big crowd. That could have played, but it felt like a filler to me, even though it was a good match. I think it should have been another singles championship match on this card. That's just me. Preferably a women's title match.
I was about to say, why not put Chelsea Green or Lyra Valkyria to defend one of their titles?
Right.
That would have worked.
Yeah. And you could have if it would have been one of the women's title spots, that could have been another spot that you could have put even more variety in the Rumble and not have a person like Chelsea Green or somebody like that in them. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's just me.
Which Chelsea Green continues to just be the most over person.
Bro, she's shining.
in wrestling. This is insane. Venkat, what are your thoughts on the tag match?
I love the tag match. I'm a fan of that match, man. The Motor City Machine Guns they're awesome, and they're still good, very good, even after all this time in TNA. The match was just great. The chemistry between the two teams I thought was great. I was just really pissed off with the audience not appreciating what the hell we were saying. Now, I don't know if it's because they don't understand or know who is in the ring, but even if you don't know who's in the ring, look at what they're doing, man. They were bringing it. So I was really just pissed off at the audience. I don't think that would have happened in France or Puerto Rico. Maybe we need to not go to Indianapolis.
Yeah, well, I think they got 2 more BLEs there. I think they signed some type of contract. What do you think about? Because you talk about the crowd, and I'm never a fan of the stadium because to me the sound just goes up to me, and it doesn't seem like it. You don't get the fullness of the crowd reaction, especially in a match like this. But again, I saw this match live at the holiday show, and they killed it. Do y'all think that the 2 out of 3 fall stipulation did something though? Like I think it's
you can tell like the attention span of people today, they can't handle that. And I think one criticism for sure is with every fall, they didn't do it right at all. They didn't announce it as how it should be announced. When the fall counts happen, 1, 2, 3, the announcer's supposed to say, winner of the first fall, blah, 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 blah. They didn't say that. They if you
did
go
it
back
on the
and watch,
second one. They did it on the second one. They did not do it on the first one.
it's crazy. They didn't do it. I mean, it was just unnecessary. Like it's just odd. You already have this odd crowd who seems bewildered, and yeah. So that kind of worried me. The 2 out of 3 worried me, but I thought that made the match more likable for me, knowing the fact that it's a 2 out of 3 falls, and if you're not really good, you can't really make that match could kill lesser talent. So they did their end as far as making the match something that you want to look at, something that you want to see, and it kept my attention the whole time. But the crowd just didn't appreciate that. Now that sucked.
Yeah, I hated this crowd, man. I really hated this crowd. But so now you talk about hating the crowd. They damn sure got up for this one. So this in the Venkat hate spot of the night, you had champion Cody Rhodes take on KO in the ladder match. This all I'm gonna say about this, because I think me and MD gonna agree on this. I have not heard what Venkat thought about this match, so now is gonna be the time to hear it. I thought this match was great. And what I will say, if Cody Rhodes was having more of these type matches, then I think people like Venkat would appreciate his title run more.
Yep, you're absolutely right. What you just said there.
Kevin Owens, the man don't get enough credit, and I am pretty sure that Venkat is going to annihilate him. See, I'm just setting it all up. But KO can wear an ass whooping. And man, there were some spots there that you're just not supposed to be taking at this age. And he still loves to do it. So more power to him. I thought this was Cody Rhodes' best match since he's been back outside of the Seth Rollins stuff. Because this was the one match that I thought if they're going to take it from him, they're going to do it right here, which I still think they should have took it from him. When Sami Zayn came out, there was your perfect opportunity to hit him with a crotch shot or something, get the belt off of him. You guys do something for it at Elimination Chamber, and he gets a shot back at Mania. You could have done it for a month. It wouldn't have mattered. I don't need long title runs. I watch the UFC. Man, one knockout will take a guy from pay-per-view to pay-per-view. So you don't need long title runs. I just want to see you as champion. But I think that this was his best match, not named Seth Rollins, since he's been back. And I'll probably throw to Brock Lesnar in. The one thing I hated about this, because if you gotta be logical, what was the purpose of them having to surrender their titles on SmackDown if both of them were just going to walk to the ring with them at the pay-per-view? It made absolutely no sense. And stuff like that can just take me out of stuff, because they made a big deal about it. Kevin Owens didn't want to surrender his title to Aldis. That's why they brought Shawn Michaels in. So they made such a big deal about it. Shawn, no matter what you do, you got to get those titles out of their hands. He got the titles, and they both walked to the ring with said titles. MD, what? Because I just got to give Venkat the entire time to talk about this. What was your thoughts on this, MD?
Well, I'm mentioning it to you in the group chat. Currently, as it stands right now, this is in my match of the year folder.
Mine too.
This was great. This was nothing short. It's almost reminiscent to the Cody Sammy Guevara ladder match in AEW. It's a lot of throwbacks to that, and people say that was Cody's best match in AEW, and I agree. To your point, Trev, at some point you got to think like, damn, with the whole thing about the power trip and selling the score with the bloodline and Roman Reigns and all that, he might have to play the part, and he might end up being the biggest part. To me, what happened on Monday with Sammy, I looked at it like, I don't want to see KO and Sammy again.
Yeah, why are we going back to that?
Yeah, well, I mean, but to think of it, it might not end up being that. that fisherman buster on the ladder, that looked brutal. I thought Cody was done. I was like, man, that looked crazy. But that damn Alabama slam.
Alabama, oh Jesus Christ.
Man, that spot, KO was a genius, bro. The way he sold that, I say, yeah, he done for it. And credit the Sami Zayn. Credit to Sami Zayn playing the role. And that's what's confusing to me, to see that and then to go to Monday to see, like I said, we'll see how the angle play out. But at this point, I believe that Kevin Owens deserves a proper title run based off the work he's been doing the last couple months. None short of phenomenal. With the different T-shirts and nothing short of phenomenal, bro.
Yeah, that's why I didn't care. That's why I'm sitting there. I think my daughter asked me, she was like, who do you want to win this match? And it just came out so quick. I was like, KO. And she just looked at me like I was crazy, but I'm like, no, because I understand that this doesn't mean anything. Like if KO, yeah, go ahead.
I kind of agreed with him, but at the same time,
Hold on, get close to the mic.
I kind of agreed with my dad, but at the same time, I didn't. But I also kind of wanted KO to win. But yeah, I was expecting Cody to keep the belt, but I was kind of also hoping that KO would win.
And there you have it.
Hey, at this point, he deserved it, man.
Yeah.
At this, I mean, you know, I can't even count how many title matches the dude done been in and lost.
At least 20.
Exactly.
No, hold on.
He needs to retire.
Just 15 more seconds.
I don't have much. I don't have much.
Because we know you go and you know what? And I want to block out the time too, because I think I'm gonna have to make a short out of what you about to say right now. MD, you done on this one?
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna let Van Cat rock. I'm gonna let him rock.
Van Cat, the floor is yours.
Oh Lord, I don't have much to say because, in all honesty, I fell asleep on the match. I fell asleep as they were like being introduced, and then I woke up like maybe the last 3 minutes of the match. I mean, I saw the Alabama Slam, I saw some of the brutality there, and I'm like, oh my God, this match might have been good. But I got to go back and see it, but I just haven't had a chance because I've been working ever since. Yeah, but my views haven't changed with Kevin Owens. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? This big, chunky, doughy, peanut butter jelly looking ass nigga. He keeps coming out here, getting all these title shots, claiming that I'm gonna win the belt or I'm gonna be this threat, and then he just ends up being a jobbed guy. And like, I think he's better than what we've been seeing, but what we've been seeing hasn't been that great. Now, by all due respect, with this match that I didn't fully watch, but I get the sense that this was really good, and that's great. I applaud him for that. What about all the other ham and egg matches he had before this point? This big beef burrito looking at thing, he should not be in these positions anymore. Like, he's getting main event spots, big tub of lard looking ass. I'm just done with KO, man. I'm tired of being put on that ride. And, you know, if he didn't win, which he didn't win for, again, this is what, the third or fourth time now against Cody, he didn't win. We've seen that match. Nobody asked for this match, by the way. Nobody asked for this match. So, I don't know. It just needs to stop already. I'm getting tired of big cornflakes eating ass. I can't stand it, man. And I used to like Kevin Owens, but I'm just done. He's just taking up so much of my time. Like, the reason why I'm so upset is because a guy doing this, what he's doing, doesn't give me any sense of jeopardy. He doesn't make me feel like in any given moment he could win or that the story is going to go a certain way that's exciting. No, it's going to be meat and potatoes. and he's going to eat it all. And that's what it's been. That's what it's been. It's been the whole time. It's just been a procedural performance by Kevin Owens. So, I mean, the match is great and everything, but for me, it's too little too late because what the hell we doing, man? Either you're going to sell your ass or do something, shake some titties or something, but you got to start doing some jiggling to get some excitement out of me because I'm not happy with what I'm seeing with Kevin Owens.
Oh, man.
All right, that's it, man. That's it.
That was great. Listen, I don't agree with nothing you just said, but that was great. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. All right, well. Oh, Mike says Venkat's hate list: unkitchened women and fat men. All right, man. Damn. All right, that would tickle me, man. Hold on, I gotta be professional. I gotta get my bearings back. All right, so let's move on to the Royal Rumble match, the men's Royal Rumble match. So, again, as we all said, consensus, the women's match, we would agree the body of the women's match was better because it had a steady flow, whereas the men's Royal Rumble, it started getting good after like number 20. That's when all the stars just start coming in. At first, it was just a bunch of the mid-card guys, and then I feel like what they should have done with the men's Rumble is they should have sprinkled the big stars in, throughout. So Nerubin says pick the perfect two people, started 619. Yes, they did. So them put again, they continue to put the spotlight on Penta. He came out at number 2. He was promptly eliminated within the first minute, but WWE's not going to ever show you that again. But I know what I saw. He absolutely both feet hit the ground. But nevertheless, him and Rey Mysterio started out. That's going to be a match at some point between those two. They're going to have a proper match at some point. But then you just start having just mid-card. Like the highlight for me was number 8. Was it number 8? When Akira Tozawa got knocked out with a forearm, by the way. Like that had to have been a Lex Luger 1994 loaded forearm. The way he just never got back up. So Triple H is in the back, and he tell, who was that? That wasn't Kai Sen. That wasn't Kai Sen. Who was that guy?
What's his name?
ISO
Speed, yeah.
Yeah, so that was ISO Speed comes out. And ISO Speed, man, props to him. He takes one of the most brutal spears because he's not a wrestler. So he's not, he doesn't know that, hey, you're supposed to protect yourself. The whiplash that I saw, the way his head bashed on that mat, if he didn't have a concussion, I am like crazy. I don't understand how he didn't. Braun Breaker broke him in half. Like it was just insane. Like a lot of, there's not much standout for me in the men's Rumble except for when Roman Reigns came out and took all of 47 minutes to get to the ring. And by the way, I was crying about it the whole night, and I'm going to cry about it again. That walkway was too long. You can't, MD suggested if they split through the crowd, they got to do something. You can't have a walkway when you got wrestlers like Charlotte, Roman Reigns. These guys ain't in no rush to get to the ring. Some of them guys, I felt like by the time they got to the ring, the countdown was going on for the next wrestler to get to the ring. There was a lot of standing around. To me, for as great as they built this match fantastic. But the execution to me didn't didn't deliver the way that I thought it should have. It was an average Rumble, fantastic build, and we'll get into the outcome. We'll get into the outcome after the fact, but the final two men did end up being John Cena and Jey Uso, which, by the way, we did a Royal Rumble pool. Next year, we're going to just open it up to everybody. We did a Royal Rumble pool, which I did win, by the way. And it's funny because the two guys that I picked 20 and 23. 20 ended up being Jey Uso and 23 ended up being John Cena. So either way, I would have won no matter what when my final two guys were in the ring. But I was surprised as hell at the outcome, but I was very happy with the outcome. And I'll get to that after everybody goes. MD, what do you think about the men's Rumble?
I mean, for what it was okay. It was too condensed at the end, man. I don't remember seeing a Rumble in recent memory that at least didn't have some sort of Iron Man angle. Like, that was crazy. Like, it was nothing. It was all about what was going on. Like I said, basically the last 2 inches. I mean, last 10 to 12 inches, literally. So it was kind of, you knew what was going on. You just didn't know who was going to win. Some people thought they knew, but they didn't know. We should have saw more NXT. Shout out for seeing Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
To me, Joe Hendry, even if Jay is number one as far as like over, number 2 would be Joe Hendry. Like in the industry itself, wrestling. I'll say 1 probably Jay, 2 Joe Hendry. Some people might swap it.
He ain't more over than Seth Rollins.
No, that wouldn't be.
I'm just being honest, bro. Joe Hendry is over. So, but it should have been more variety, just like we talked about the women's Rumble. We should have saw more NXT stars in the Rumble. I would have loved to see
got Hacksaw.
Trick
got Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah, Trick should have been in the Rumble for sure.
Yeah, that would have been great.
I didn't need to see Astro Speed. Like I said, to Trey's point, like the spear looked awesome. It looked awesome, but I didn't need to see it. Like he didn't need to be there. Poor Akira Tozawa. He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that at all. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
WWE always doing the Chinaman wrong, boy.
And I'm talking about they had to sit him down in Gorilla. He was laid out. I was like, damn. But yeah, I mean, like I said, for what it was good. CM Punk, he'll get his spot. It just wasn't, and a lot of people were picking him. I wasn't. I had kind of sort of inclination in Sammy, but after what I saw earlier, I was like, I don't know. So that kind of dried up pretty quick. But the way they did Drew, man, ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous, man. And for it to happen the way that it happened, with all the confusion, ridiculous, man. I'm not tripping on Drew being upset, not one bit. He should be upset. Because the work that he put in, go ahead.
No, so you blaming LA Knight here?
No, but
I'm not blaming LA Knight.
Because that's the reasoning.
Yeah, but we don't. Well, did they say everybody is implied that it was LA Knight? But I watched it again. I didn't see anything that looked out of the ordinary.
Because he took away the thunder of Drew McIntyre elimination. It had no impact.
Well, but here's the thing, but here's the thing, though. I agree. LA Knight, he was in the ring overworking, basically. He got caught up in the line of fire. Damian Priest chose to fast forward everything. So me personally, I blame Damian Priest.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because the one.
There was no need to do it.
He essentially said F it and went it was almost as if he was trying to go around LA Knight.
Yeah.
So LA Knight just got caught up in the crossfire. Damian Priest should have waited for the spot. Drew is professional enough in the ring where he can lay out the scene in order for it to happen the way that it's supposed to happen. Even with LA Knight being there. You know what I'm saying? Damian Priest is the one that chose to say, F it. Look, I need to do this spot now. And just essentially went through LA Knight. Again, LA Knight was in the wrong to a certain degree. He shouldn't have been there. You know, it was always, I ain't gonna say he was like going into business for himself. He wasn't. He was just overworking in the ring. So to me personally, I blame Damian Priest.
So if you look back at the moment, you see what was that idiot name? That guy that's the YouTuber.
Logan Paul.
No,
yeah,
Logan Paul. Logan Paul.
So right, so Logan Paul was doing something with the crowd, showboating and whatnot. I think he had just eliminated somebody, and LA Knight was behind Logan Paul, stalking Logan Paul, and that was a moment that was going down right then and there, where LA Knight was going to give him his comeuppance. But before that could completely finish, here's Damian Priest bringing McIntyre over, and it's this clumsy moment that kind of like took away from his McIntyre is like one of the big dogs. He was my pick to win the whole thing. I thought that he was going to win it, and so for him to be eliminated, that should be a big freaking deal. And it wasn't as much. When he got eliminated, it was like, what happened here? And I think that's really the biggest problem. If Damian Priest should have waited just a little bit longer for LA Knight's little thing to finish there, because it was going to finish, instead of just like going at it and then they're crossing paths, taken away from that elimination.
And you know that the Logan Paul LA Knight stuff was a spot in the match because the way the camera shot was. They deliberately shot it where Logan Paul was gloating, and the out of focus shot was LA Knight in the background. So it was supposed to happen. So I don't blame LA Knight. LA Knight was doing what he was supposed to do. Maybe he did it a little slower than it should have been, but that's no excuse. That's no excuse. I think Damian Priest has got, I guess, antsy in the sequence of the spots and chose to just say, F it. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do now, which was the elimination.
I'm starting to come around to Ricardo's thinking of The Rock. I think The Rock is a little problematic, man. This guy's an egomaniac. I'm just saying, I see you, Ricardo. I see
Doesn't
you.
Doesn't he have another movie?
He got many other movies.
Yeah, so he probably can't commit. So, all right. So I mean, there's no secret. I thought CM Punk was going to win, but he didn't. And the rumor that I hear for the rumored WrestleMania match probably, ties into the finish. But in one fell swoop, basically, you had CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns all get eliminated, and Seth Rollins proceeds to beat the ever-loving shit out of Roman Reigns outside of the ring, which was great.
Which he should do that. He should be doing that.
That double foot curb stomp looked nasty. I'm not taking that. Man.
Yeah.
Why?
And I think that Drew McIntyre's whole thing about why are people all goody-goody with Roman Reigns after what he did the last 4 years, I think more people need to buy into that. And I think there's a story there, obviously, with Seth Rollins. He's a huge piece. He's the original chair shot. And, yeah, man, they need to open that up a little bit more with Seth Rollins, Roman, and Drew McIntyre. There's a major story there that hasn't been explored enough or at all, really.
I still say that they're going to do the 2-man power trip with Rollins and McIntyre. So Venkat, what was your, well, no, not Venkat, but the wrestling prophet amongst them, which, by the way, your prophecy doesn't count towards this. This is 2025. So
Stop it.
Yeah. He didn't know. He didn't know
Stop
nothing
it.
about this prior
just so
to
you
his
know it.
Wrestler of
Stop
the Year
it.
pick. He didn't know none of this.
Stop it. The reason he is the Royal Rumble winner is because of the reasonings that I clearly explained about Jey Uso, which there was two people on the internets out there somewhere in the atmosphere. I don't know those guys' names, but some two notorious dudes out there just bringing me down and dogging me about what I was saying about Jey Uso. But look what happened. I'm happy as hell. Like, I just love to see when the underdogs come up like this. So it's just a great thing. It's a great thing.
Again, I mean, revision is history, but it's all good. I never disagreed with your takes on how over he was. Again, I saw him twice in person last year. I know the ridiculousness of the overness that this guy is. I just said his move set wasn't that great. But Jey Uso did win the Royal Rumble, which was a pleasant surprise, because when it came down to Jey Uso and John Cena, I'm sitting there like, man, this is the way they're going to get John Cena in there, huh? I'm like, come on, man. John Cena doesn't need the Royal Rumble to get to his ultimate goal at WrestleMania. And so I was pleasantly surprised that Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. But this is why
Jey Uso was surprised.
Well, yeah, well, that's good that he didn't know right away, because they didn't want him telling his dad. Did you see the video of his dad watching it?
No.
I put it in the group. His dad had a wrestling part. His dad had a watch party. Mark Henry was there. A couple other people were there. And when he won, his dad, like, he couldn't believe it. Like, he just had this look on his face, like, man, like he couldn't believe it. But this is what I want to say, because to me, this is better than the Yes Movement, because as much as we don't like Vince McMahon over here, Vince McMahon said one thing that seemed to be right. Vince McMahon said that Daniel Bryan's run was more about people chanting yes than how they really felt about him. And you could tell, again, Daniel Bryan, who I watched wrestle in person twice, outside of the Yes Movement, the crowd not really into him. They're not really into him. And I've seen it with my own two eyes twice. Fantastic wrestler though. At least top 10 of all time. Fantastic. So Jey Uso though, I want to say this with Jey Uso. Yeah, take this down. I might have to get me another short here with what I'm about to say. So I watched Jey Uso from when they were the Usos, wearing the highlighter colors. And my wife could attest to this. We were at a show one time when the Usos came out, and they would do the thing where they'd be like, Uso, and they'd be like, when I say ooh, you say oh, and the crowd was literally, and they'd be like, ooh, and the crowd would be like, oh, zero reaction. Everybody's at the concession stand during the Usos thing. Jey Uso did a promo against Roman Reigns in 2020 when the main event Jey Uso run started, which I tell you, y'all think WWE don't do long-term booking, go back to all that stuff and see how they were planting the seeds. Roman Reigns said that you're going to be the one that takes this over from me. He said that. And Jey Uso told Roman Reigns, he said, when they see you, they see the tribal chief. When they see me, they ask, which one am I? So when I tell you how I felt after that win, like, wrestling has its way of doing it to me. Every now and then with the New Day thing, the New Day turn, it made me get really emotional because they did it so great. This was done so perfect that a guy who basically came from nothing. I think that was Venkat's major point, that tag team wrestler, which that I agree with. Tag team wrestler, you said that he was going to be nothing more than a tag team wrestler. They literally had this guy win the Rumble. He is the number one merch seller in the company. He has taken the number one spot. Again, seeing this guy in person, the crowd loves him. They do the best thing, having him come out of the concourse to do his entrance. Whoever came up with that, bravo, brilliant. That was fantastic for them to do. But the connection that we have with Jey Uso, I think that this is going to work. And I said it when we did the review. I said, I cannot wait for Monday Night Raw because Gunther is going to cut him to piss. And that's exactly what Gunther did. And now I want to see this match more than ever. I want Jey Uso to beat the holy hell out of Gunther, because Gunther is basically saying, I need to wrestle somebody like John Cena. I need to wrestle somebody like Cody. I don't need to waste my time wrestling you. It's beneath me. Just constantly demeaning this guy. When this guy comes out to do his promo, he's so flustered, he can't even get the words together because he never expected this. And the crowd is telling him, hey, one more time. When have you ever seen that? The guy's ready to cut his promo and they're saying, no, do this one more time, to where they got to replay his music and do the yeet thing all over again. This guy is over. That's the one thing I won't take from Venkat. Venkat has been saying that forever. I think Venkat looks past his work rate, but this is WWE. This is more about spectacle. This is more about showmanship. The video package that they make for it has to be Gunther. It has to be Gunther. I don't want to see him and Cody. This has to be Gunther. The video package that they're going to make for him going to WrestleMania is going to be one of the best that WWE has ever done. Bravo. I thought that this was fantastic and it was much needed. Whereas you got the predictable thing with Charlotte, you got the thing that nobody expected in Jey Uso. And I say this closing to you wrestling fans, you guys are fickle. You're the reason why people look at wrestling fans the way we do. All you guys buy this guy's merchandise. All you guys do the yeet thing. All you guys tell the office, hey, push somebody new. We're tired of seeing the same old people. Give a new guy a chance. The minute they give the new guy the chance, now you got these losers on the internet breaking their TV. Why Jey Uso? We don't want to see Jey Uso in the main event. We don't want to see Jey Uso in the main event. Hey, if I could take a word from The Rock, y'all lucky my daughter right here, because I was about to drop an F-bomb, because this is like, y'all go get the hell on. This is ridiculous. Venkat always says this every time we do a show. New, fresh matchups. What more? How much fresher can you get with a guy that the fans think that they built? Who's better? That's why the fans love CM Punk so much, because they feel like they're the ones who built him. That's it. Like this is fantastic. This was hell for just for this moment alone. This Royal Rumble is going to be one that I never forget. Just for that moment right there was the day WWE was like, you know what? Let's do something different. And I loved it. I'm here for it.
Well, one of the things I want to say is, how come when Jey Uso is being in consideration for top guy status, we have to worry about top rate, work rate, all this other rate, but then all these crusty ass crackers come out here like Hogan, and they ain't got no damn rate at all. They ain't nothing to rate. They ain't got no wrist lock, no wrist watch, no nothing. And like it's literally Trump in the making here, man. Like the minority has to have a degree in wrestling, has to know every aspect, top to bottom, and be perfect. Meanwhile, these crusty old geezers come out here and have the world title over Booker T, over all these other guys for no reason other than the fact that he's white. So, nah, man. Matter of fact, Jey Uso need to lose 5 moves just to stick it to these crackers so they know we mean business. Go ahead on, Jey Uso. Do your thing.
And I will say, Venkat been singing this guy's praises all years. It ain't just, it's fun. Isn't this funny though? Last year he had the worst match at WrestleMania. This year he's gonna probably leave the champ. Well, no, ain't no probably. He has to leave the champion.
And it's going to be one of the best matches, too. Because that Saturday night's main event match they had, Gunther and him, that was really good.
Because the crowd is so behind him. Like the crowd is so behind. And y'all know Gunther is that dude. But Gunther
is amazing.
Gunther cut him to piss Monday, man. It was so funny. I'm like, oh my goodness. And Jay just stands there with that look on his face, and he's like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Everything you're saying is true. Everything. But it doesn't negate the fact that I'm leaving WrestleMania as a champion. And that's all I needed to hear. MD main event, Jay Uso. 5 years in the making.
I'm happy for him, man. It's well deserved. Like I said, he's the guy right now as far as crowd reaction. It's him, nobody else. The only gripe, I guess, that if I'm a cherry pick anything, I don't like the elimination spot. Like hell, John Cena wouldn't even take a bump for him. He just damn fell to the ground. I was like, man, what it was a shock nonetheless, because all your focus is on Jay. It really ain't on Cena. But still, I mean, at least take a bump for the man. You know what I mean? But that's cherry picking. But yeah, man. We look back at Kofi Mania and the Yes Movement and all. Bro, this tops all of that, in my opinion. As it stands right now, as far as like organic crowd reaction. To me, it's better than the Yes Movement. The Yes Movement was pushed. We all know that.
Yeah.
Kofi Mania, in a way, was more organic, but it wasn't just all out, flat out. Kofi was given the opportunity and he won, and we were all happy. This right here, this is 100% fully organic. The only thing that I'm afraid of is how Jay is going to accept all of this into his role, as far as cutting promos and the stuff that he does in the ring. Like that promo that he cut, like, bro, and I understand he was emotional. I'm not gonna trip off that. But bro, it was some points like he just didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Like at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
as a champion, that ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah,
that ain't gonna cut it.
A lot.
You know what I mean?
My little one want to say something. Talking to the mic.
At WrestleMania, Gunther is COOKED. He's gonna be cut because Jay Uso is walking out WrestleMania as Intercontinental.
Nope, not wrong champion.
Oh,
world champion.
Oh, who's the world champion?
You was cooking just then too, and then you just used the wrong belt.
Hell, it sounds like you cutting a promo for
it. Yeah, she was cooking.
Yep, she got it right. She got it right.
But yeah, it's no other like outcome. He gotta win the championship, and it's really no other opponent. It's got to be Gunther.
Because Gunther's beating him every time.
Yeah. And to your point, like I said, that promo on Monday, when he was like, "If you pick me, I'm telling you, if you pick me every week,"
yeah,
I was like, "Hey man," it was the bully mentality, bro. And Jay just standing there. I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna work." And to look at it in retrospect, when they did the thing with Sammy last year. He essentially did the same thing, but I think this year, just I guess you would say, I don't want to say the talent gap, because it really ain't about that. But the level of I guess you would say the notch above what Gunther is to Jay, relatively, and how they gonna angle that into the whole outcome of this is gonna be greater than Sammy from last year. And the Sammy thing was great. It was great. But, bro, Jay is the number one guy. I'm just afraid that when it's all said and done, Jay is not going to know how to carry himself as champion. Because we didn't get to see it, really, when he won the Intercontinental Championship. What was that, 2 weeks?
Yeah, he had it for 2 weeks.
So we didn't get to see it with the Intercontinental run. We'll see if he can hold up when he wins the world title.
So does he have to, like I'm saying, you think he has to change? I mean, okay, the belt, Gunther, we see how Gunther carries the title. Gunther is a 1980s heel. That's what he is.
He the quintessential villain.
Jey Uso is more the fun going party guy. You think he's gonna change that up?
No, he shouldn't have to change, but he should have to at least be relative to his mannerism as it pertains to what he does in the ring, manifesting as champion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he got to change his persona. His persona what got him here. You know what I'm saying? But just like I said, the example used is him not even be able to he couldn't even cut a promo trail. He couldn't do it Monday night, and you know, take the emotion away. He's always essentially been like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a couple of words, then oos. That ain't gonna cut it as champion.
Yeah, every other word is yeet.
Yeah. So we'll see.
So,
but I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy for him.
You mentioned I agree with you on the yes movement. That was manufactured. But you mentioned Kofi Mania. This is right on par with Kofi Mania. I think Kofi Mania just holds a more of a spot in my heart just because the history of the company, and you know how they treat their black talent, and then for one to accidentally, because he wasn't supposed to be there, it's just because Mustafa Ali got hurt, for one to break through and the crowd to get so behind them, and WWE to lean into that racial aspect, like you'll never let us get past a certain point. I can't tell you too many things that they ever did better than that.
Yeah, I agree with it. But as far as I guess because it was such a short manifestation of it, because Kofi Mania wasn't that long. You know what I'm saying? The stuff with Daniel Bryan was from what? When did they start? They started that angle when?
I don't even remember.
It was past the Elimination Chamber.
That was WrestleMania Dallas. So it happened before it was before the Elimination Chamber, because that's what Kofi got into was the chamber.
Right. Yeah. Because you're right. So basically from Elimination Chamber to Mania.
Yeah.
That was Kofi Mania. Whereas with Jay, this been sizzling for months. You know what I'm saying?
This been going on since 2020.
Well, there you go. You go. So that that's the difference.
Well, I'm just waiting when Jay wins the title. I'm just waiting for when Donald Trump comes out and says Jey Uso is a DEI. Because it's coming. It's coming. There's a DEI champion. How dare he?
Speaking
Asian American Pacific Island.
Speaking of Donald Trump, let's go to our last and final story. One of Donald Trump's. I ain't forgot. Hey man, shout out to Shiesty Bum in the building too, man. He was at TFP last night, so shout out to the wrestling show. Let's get into the last story. Just kind of a follow up from the last show we did. Speaking of Donald Trump, let's get into one of his biggest supporters. Pat McAfee did a show with Hulk Hogan, and I'm gonna play a sound. So listen out to the sound. Just how Pat McAfee tried to bait him, and Hogan wasn't taking that bait, man. He was like, "Hey, no, bro, this not going down like this." So let me get the sound up. Where the hell is it? All right, here it is.
Because of everything else.
But you got to realize, last time I ran hard in L.A., I was a bad guy. I was Hollywood Hogan, man. I was riding dirty with the boys, Nash and Hall, and we were spray painting people and crotch shotting everybody and started out with the too sweet stuff. So last time I was there, I was a heel. But I think the politics had a whole lot to do with it, like you said.
I would say, I would assume you get into the politics and also some other stuff,
Yeah, of course. But at the end
Yeah. I mean, when you're in a public eye for 40 years.
Yeah, you do slip and fall a couple times.
Yeah, and they're going to see it. Everybody's
But
going to see
anyway,
it.
at the end of the day, we kind of looked at it the next day because, I had like 11 billion impressions, and some of the other guys, some of the big stars that were on that car that night only had like 3 billion. I don't name names, but, we were
So you were like,
all right. So
man, that loser would try to twist it.
So
and he completely ignored it.
Hulk Hogan on with Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee tried to get him, so they were talking about the Raw Netflix debut, and Hulk Hogan says that it was because when he was with the NWO, Hall and Nash, that they got a lot of heat, and I guess the crowd remembered that. That was his response for the reaction that he got. And Pat McAfee's like, well, there's some other stuff too. And Hogan was like, oh, well, yeah, we all slip and fall, brother. But just the not knowing how to read the room and just not being humble at some point, bro. You really just got to be humble and just realize that I messed up, and this is probably why everybody hates me. So, and then his whole
Pat McAfee gave him an opportunity to kind of right that wrong, but he's had so many other opportunities to right that wrong. He ain't trying to right it. He ain't trying.
And he says, this is the part that killed me. He talking about, so now he's trying to say that this was a good thing when everybody could clearly see in his face behind the glasses that he wanted to cry. He's saying, oh, it got 11 billion impressions. Where you get that number from, first of all?
I don't know where he getting his stats from.
And then he talking about other top guys trying to take a shot at I guess CM Punk or
Cody.
whoever. Yeah.
He's going after Cody.
Yeah, it had to be Cody, Punk, somebody. Other top guy has only got 3 billion. First of all, nobody's getting no billion impressions on anything. I mean, there's only 7 billion people on Earth, so I don't even know where the hell he comes up with this 11 billion number. Like, oh my goodness, bro! Like, when I heard that, I'm like, man, this guy has completely lost it. He's delusional, just delusional. MD, what you think about Hogan just completely dismissing what happened on Netflix?
He's a liar, bro. we all know that. But I'm saying there's really no point in doing it. There's no point. Like, why? And then you go on a show like Pat McAfee, where you know the numbers are wrong, the eyes are on you, and you still refuse to at least play as if that you're trying to explain away the situation as it pertains to the whole racism gimmick. Again, me personally, I think more factors played into it that, we already had that discussion. But for the sake of the argument, right, why not at least go back and reiterate, hey, look, it's a stupid thing that I did, blah, 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 this and that. To my knowledge, he never has done that on a public forum, to my knowledge.
Nope. He
may have put out a statement, but on like a public forum, he's never done that. And this was the ultimate opportunity to do it. It's a damn Pat McAfee show. So, yeah, bro, I don't know what else to say about him. I don't know what else to say about him.
All he's ever done is deflected, and it's not my fault. The fact that he would bring. The fact that he says that the reason everybody booed him in LA is because of something he did with the NWO 30 years ago. Come on, man. That's crazy. That's I don't know, man. Man, we did fantastic time tonight, man. This is 2 hours. This is fantastic. So, all right. So I do see the queen of the Straight Talk Society in the building. So y'all know that we do this show because we're wrestling fans. We love wrestling, and it is what it is. And as you guys can see behind me, I have all these wrestling belts. I also have the Fiend mask and everything, and I've done unboxings for all those items, which actually get fantastic numbers on YouTube. People love these unboxings. So we're gonna do something a little special before we go tonight, before we end off on tonight's show. In the vein of Hulk Hogan, we all know that Hulk Hogan, the reason why he even came on Netflix was to promote his beer. So I thought it would be a great idea to actually try his beer live on air. And so I sent my wife this message yesterday, and I'm like, hey, she said she was off of work. I'm like, hey, can you go to Total Wine and see if you can find me the Hulk Hogan Real American Beer, brother? And then she was like, all right, I'll go. She went, they didn't have it. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. I'm like, all right, so I'll have to order it online or something and do it next show. But nevertheless, her being the wife that she is, she drove 20 miles extra. I guess she looked online, saw somebody else had it. Please don't put the location of where you got it, because I got ops over here. She drove 20 miles out of the way to go to a store that had it, and she just sent me a picture of it that she does have it. So I am going to legit taste this Hulk Hogan Real American Beer live on air on Wrestling with Reality in front of the world, the Twitter audience, and the Straight Talk Society for the first time. And I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion as to how it tastes. So I do have right here.
Hey, wait a minute, Trevor. Let's make you make your screen, like make you the only screen on there.
Oh, I don't have no problem doing that. Let me get this main event screen here. So I do have the Hulk Hogan Real American Beer, the 6-pack, and the 6-pack was only $10. They do have the 12-pack for $15, but I'm probably not gonna like this. So you see, it just has Real American and beer all over it. Does have Hulk Hogan's picture on it. See if you can see that. All right, so let's crack this bad boy open and see what we got here. This is Hulk Hogan Real American Beer now, live on Wrestling with Reality. Get that in the camera shot. Real American Beer, so you know that I'm not making it up. Here we go. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to everybody that will be watching.
What kind of beer is it? A lager or ale? What is it?
It's a light beer brewed in the USA, obviously. I'm trying to see. Yeah, it's definitely, what this almost tastes like? This almost tastes like a Bud Light or a Michelob or Miller, one of those. I think something's happening.
Yeah, it's probably an ale.
Brother. I feel like I could slam 700-pound Andre the Giant right now, brother. Oh my goodness, when it comes stretching down and it hurts inside. And you got to take a stand and don't hurt the hide. Man. You know what? I got to say that this beer is pretty good. If I still was a beer drinker, I would drink this, but I don't drink beer anymore. If I still was a beer drinker, though, you see the things that I do for you guys, though. You guys see that I come on here and I go totally against what I'm going to do. I get to drink this beer for you. It does not taste bad. It tastes like if you were to go to a bar and get a Miller Lite, a Bud Light on draft. I'm very curious to see who makes this. He doesn't have
Want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga! We want the gold!
He doesn't have the real manufacturer's name on here, but I'm pretty sure this is like a Miller Lite or a Bud Light or something like that. But it is pretty good. I'm not gonna discredit it, even though I feel how I feel about Hulk Hogan. You see, I do have the Hulk Hogan shirt on because I was a Hulkamaniac at one point. But this beer is pretty good. It doesn't taste hoppy. It is not too heavy on the barley because I don't like those type of beers. It is more of a light beer in the vein of a Bud Light or a Miller Lite. So if I was giving you a recommendation, I would say definitely get the Hulk Hogan Real American Beer, brother. It feeds into the 24-inch pythons, and you could body slam 700-pound Andre the Giant also after you drink this beer, brother. So I recommend this. I think that this is a good. I think that this is a good tasting beer.
Place to deposit somebody, brother.
I give it 2 thumbs up.
Man, I'm gonna stick with the Corona.
You gonna stick with Corona?
And the damn Modelo.
Brother. They'll be trying to drink
Before they put the tariffs on it.
brother.
You better buy a bunch of Corona. I feel, Nene says, I feel like I need to watch it in your sleep tonight. Hey, Nene, you never know. This may make you stand up like a real American.
Brother, I love this brother.
All right, fellas. Any more parting words?
Yeah, that's it. I'm done, man. Y'all have a good night.
Brother.
All right, MD. Venkat, any last words before we get out of here?
I'm fighting for life, brother.
We've been hanging and banging, brother. 20,000 leagues under the sea is a nice.
Ricardo, I'm home. Only place I'm going is to my bed. I'm home.
Oh man, great show as always. Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, well, what's coming up on TFP?
Well, Donald Trump opened his mouth about taking over the Gaza Strip. So this guy just trying to take over place after place. He wants Greenland. He wants Canada. He wants Mexico, the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America now. Yeah, so he's talking about building places all over the Gaza Strip. We got all these people's bodies dead in there. And he's talking about building on top of that area. So we're going to have to address that on the next episode.
All right. And that is next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Just so you guys know, we do have this tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I do have a newcomer coming to the Straight Talk Society, Israelite. This will be an Israelite month this month. Captain Arya will be on tomorrow night doing a teaching. Are there racist tenets in the Torah? Yeah, this is a light American beer for real because it got me burping all over the place. But yeah, so y'all tune into that tomorrow night at 6:30. Then Saturday, another one of those rare Saturday shows. His I guess his leader, what you would call him, Brother Ashrakai, will be coming on issuing challenges for that Christian smoke. So it's going to probably be just like an open forum for guys to come on and make challenges or accept challenges, man. But yeah, man, I thought this was great, man. This was one of our shorter shows, but I think we got a lot in. Shout out to Mike coming on with the basketball talk, man. You guys really got to do that. Even if you do the recorded stuff like Bones and Zay do. A lot of times for the MMA, they do their MMA. Oh, speaking of Bones and Zay, we do have a UFC show this Friday also, UFC 313, I think. But like Bones and Zay, they do the body shot. They record that in the studio, and then we just upload it later. So even if you and Mike would do something like that, it'll be more flexible on the time.
Yeah, that all makes sense. We got to see what Mike says.
But I know, because I know sometimes with the live, it's better with the live reaction. I know.
Yep.
With me, I feed off the chat. So even on Man Talk Monday, I literally just feed off the chat. So I get it. But sometimes, you got to do what you got to do, because the basketball talk, every time we do it, is always great. And with so much going on, hell, by the time we wake up in the morning, the trade deadline, it was at 20 hours. So the trade deadline will be over like tomorrow midday. So we should know something soon. So there you have it. You have Shiesty Bum. I haven't watched wrestling in years. Shiesty Bum, if you look up like 5 comments, you'll see my queen. So you see, when I'm talking on Man Talk Monday, I'm talking because I got me a woman. I talk from the point of somebody that already has a fine ass woman. So that's why I could say the type of things that I say. Stone Cold Steve Austin was my favorite. But yeah, man, listen, I know we don't like Hulk Hogan, but I would strongly recommend this beer if you're a beer drinker. So there you have it, man. Venkat, pleasure as always.
I set my eyes on you, brother.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to those of you that will be watching later. Shout out to those of you over on Twitter. Hey, man, we will see you guys tomorrow night for Captain Aria. Yeah, who's Nene? Nene is the mother of my child, the carrier of my name.
We want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan! We coming for you, nigga!
And with that, we'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Peace!
Come take a walk through my heart, a stroll through my soul. Been smart from the start, wasn't taught, wasn't told. You could climb through my mind, or fly through my eye. And in time you will find what I rhyme is not a lie. Come take a walk through my heart, a stroll through my soul. Been smart from the start, wasn't taught, wasn't told. You could climb through my mind, or fly through my eye. And in time you will find